Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling, and shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today and see if it's actually coming home today or not. Whoa, is it coming home? It's coming home. If you can tell, the finals, I believe, is today, which I think going at 8 PM, so if that's not for about another 4.5 hours. Would I be watching them? Maybe? I don't know. Again, I talked ad nauseum about football, soccer, whatever you want to call it. You can jump back about 4 episodes or whatever, but it'd be exciting to see. Of course I'll be, I guess, I am biased towards England winning over who's against Italy, right? But either way, what happens. Hello everyone, right now in Fawnhollow, it's 3:32 PM on Sunday, July 11th, 2021. Not really much to speak of today, so we'll go about our usual business. Of course, it being Sunday, meaning we don't have a visit today, so we'll just be farming up these Nipmail missions as we can do, or the best we can do, I should probably say. I've also been wondering, I wonder if my microphone's been too loud recently, because sometimes I've been looking at my videos and there's like a mild sort of static going on in the background. Is not ideal. You kind of want the pleasantry, the sound of silence, or the ambient noise around you to not really factor too much into your recording. But hey ho, here we go. A little too high and a little too low. Don't work in the dark. We've definitely had that sort of thing over and over again. Okay, we need to start getting rid of some of these letters. Let's start getting rid of let's keep the first letter that someone has sent us, but if they've moved away, let's get rid of them now, probably is what I'd say. So Flo, sorry Flo, you've been deleted from existence. Axel, you're gone. I can't throw away favorited messages. I guess that's kind of a point of it. Or just throw away like 3 or so. Who really cares? Wait, is this the first hippo one? This might be the first hippo one. That's not the first Sylvana one. I definitely remember that. I wish they sent you going away letters, because those are much better ones to keep. Because that's what I used to do in Wild World. When they moved out, they sent you a letter being like, "Oh, I'm going away now," and then you can. I always just kept them with Pelly and Phyllis, their final ones, just before they left. Oh, of course, KK Side is here because it's it do be a Sunday, and yesterday we did have a fishing tourney going on, didn't we? But yeah, of course, it's a very exciting time if you're in Britain and England, I suppose. Maybe not so much if you're in Scotland and Wales. You're probably much more impartial to it. But I'm not going to speak on your behalf. But yeah, because people are always looking excitedly to the finals. Everyone's waiting on bated breath and ready to scream and yell out the TV screen, and I could probably give you a running update of what the score is, depending just listening to my neighbourhood. I forgot to use Nip Terminal yesterday, just by listening to the cheers and the cries ring out through the neighbourhood every time England scores, or everyone's going no when if your opposition scores. Of course, some of my friends are very interested in football and that sort of thing, so they'll be watching it. Amusingly, when we went out to go see A Quiet Place, we went to a different town over, because of course we don't have any movie theatres quite around here. We're just like walking along the high street, and then this other group of young adults or teens or whatever, just one of them just went, hold up, look, can I just quickly ask you something? Is it coming home? And then we were just like, yeah, it's coming home. Like, why not? And they just went, yeah. And they were probably, let's say, quite intoxicated. It was quite late when we watched it, and we were turning home. It was around like 10, 11 or so. There was a couple of pubs around that area. I actually forgot what Nookmail missions we had. Talk to people, rocks, hot items, fruit. Okay, that seems it's a weird combination of things, but we can do. So yeah, I mean, it'll be pretty exciting to see how it turns out. Obviously, hoping for the England win, but most importantly, hope it's a thrilling game either way, or something about it. But to be honest, whichever way it goes, it doesn't really impact me all too much, I suppose. I don't have much investment in it, apart from literally nationalistic association with it, which is, I guess, the bare minimum for any English person to be associated with it. But I want to see the people I'm around be happy, of course. So hopefully England win, then people can celebrate and that sort of thing. Responsibly, mind you. Please don't cause a ruckus or be a stereotypical nuisance of a football hooligan. Be the good hooligan, I guess. It's kind of counter to the word hooligan, I suppose, but you know what I mean. Certain reputation. You drink a little bit too much, you get a little bit too rowdy, and you end up destroying a lot of public property, which is definitely not what you want, or annoying the heck out of people around you. So if anything, it's a good thing that we didn't go to watch like a Quiet Place today or something, because we would have to be walking back in the England either partying or rioting streets, I suppose, depending on how the situation unfolds later today. I wonder if it's a similar thing in Italy. Because I know, especially English football fans, have definitely got their reputation precedes them, I suppose. I don't know if it's so much the case in other countries. Or maybe it's just much more loudly, a loud minority here in England, I will certainly say. I mean, yeah, you have your run-in with a few of them. On the tube when it's late at night, they're just like singing random songs or whatever. You know, you got your football chants. Have I ever been to a football game, you might ask? Yes, I have. I've done it twice. You might ask why, and the answer is I don't know. It's a better question. It was just the sort of thing where my mother got a hold of some tickets to a stadium for a football game, and you know, it was like these box seat tickets, and for some reason, these weren't like, well, I don't think they were about like noteworthy games or anything, but they were just like, you know, your regular old matches. For some reason, I went to it twice, despite the fact I should have definitely let my father go instead of me, or at least my sister, who both like football more than me. I don't know why I went twice. Maybe I insisted on it. I honestly cannot recall. I cannot remember. I was also, you know, moderately young back then, so perhaps that's not holding me to the pinnacle of human standards, I suppose. Wait, hold on. That's a really weird way of phrasing it. Basically, you know, I was young. You know, teens and younger, kind of dumb sometimes. And been there, done that. And if you're a teen right now and you're offended about that fact, just, you know, wait 10 years and you'll be like, oh man, I really was dumb as a teen. And, you know, it's a growing process, it's growing pains, as everyone says. And I don't mean it in like a mean way, even though I guess it does kind of come off that way, doesn't it? It's just like, it is what it is, you know? You make mistakes even now as an adult. You think you're not going to make mistakes as a teenager? Anyway, that's not really the point. So yeah, I've gone and seen them. Was it a cool experience? I think it was pretty cool. I don't really remember all that much of it. I guess it didn't really have much of a lasting impact on me. But, I mean, I remember bits and pieces. I can't even tell you who was playing, to be honest. I think it was like the Carlsberg Cup was one of them. Maybe it was the Carlsberg Cup final. Is that even a thing? Let's see. Football Carlsberg Cup? Lunar New Year Cup. The Carlsberg Challenge. Or the Carlsberg Cup. What? In Hong Kong. Okay, it wasn't in Hong Kong. I'd definitely like to point that out. I don't know, like, I guess it was nice to be part of that stadium sort of atmosphere. You know, as I say before, you always like to be part of a crowd and share the emotions that they have as well. And, you know, in the football game, everyone's really hyped up and happy, as long as it isn't like a horrible stomp. Like 7-1 or something, I'm sorry. Sorry for my Brazilian fans out there. But yeah. I mean, it's fun to be part of a crowd. People are chanting, people are doing a wave, and everyone's like, whoa. It's like part of a crowd mentality where, you know, me, I'm pretty moderate with this sort of thing. Would I do the wave if it was just like 3 people next to me being like, yo, let's do the wave? And if it's just random enough, people would be like, actually, I probably would do it. I'm not like a grump, but maybe, okay, maybe me around circa age 16, 17 would be like, no. Because apparently I took myself too seriously. But you know, when you're part of a crowd or whatever, and everyone's doing it, you got to do it as well. That's part of the fun. You're seriously going to be that person in that crowd who's not going to do it. I mean, unless you have a really good reason that you can't do it, then fair enough. But if you have the ability to do it, you might as well join in. That wave of propagation of human hands flying up in the air eventually circles around to you. You know what you're doing? You're throwing your hands up in the air. Hold on. I'm thinking about it. But wave of propagation of human hands flying up in the air kind of sounds like people's hands are being like cut off and chucked in the air, which is very sort of, I don't know, Tudor period medieval punishment, which is not really what I was going for. I meant it in a much more light-hearted, celebratory sort of way. I know there's a load of chants that people do. Do I know them? Not really. Apart from one that goes, But that's just like a common sort of sports chant. Which I remember, these are sort of chants which carried over into esports scenes as well, because you might say, esports scenes, what do you know about esports scenes? Then you, like, completely not watch esports and that sort of thing, and yeah, you're kind of right. But still, there was a time where one of the LEC, which is the European League of Legends like championship thing. It wasn't the finals. It was one of the weeks. It was held in London, I believe. Was it in Wembley Arena? I can't remember. So you know, me and like 5 other of our friends who all liked League of Legends at the time. You know, I can't remember. Someone bought tickets, says we should go see it, and we did, and it was super cool. We got to see a lot of teams play. I can't remember all of them. I remember that's where is it Alliance versus Copenhagen Wolves? I don't even think those are 2 teams you play in the League of Legends European circuit anymore, but still, they were playing, and it was an incredibly intense game, really back and forth. And I remember there's so many crowd cheerings going on because, you know, if there's anything that follows the English football stereotype is, or English sporting people stereotype is not only the hooligans, the vocal minority of the hooligans, but also, I'm not sure I should say minority. It's not like I have statistics to back that up. It's just kind of what I like to believe. But also football chants and that sort of thing. Do I remember them? Not really, but what I remember is because there's Copenhagen Wolves playing, one of the things that everyone did was they started like a wolf pack howl, so someone just go, ow! Everyone would just goes, ow, ow, ow. And I don't know, you could probably look up that game, and you could probably like hear the crowd like howling in the background or something. And I remember in the post-match thread or something, there was a lot of memes just being like, audience's game, it was just like a loaded picture of the wolves, or like 3 wolves moon t-shirt. And it's something different, you know, because especially if I was just watching it on the TV screen or my computer or whatever, I'd just be like, oh yeah, whatever. But you know, actually being a part of that crowd without howling made it feel very exciting, thrilling, different, you know, part of a certain sense of camaraderie, I suppose, between everyone, despite not knowing who anyone is, I guess, apart from my friends, of course. You know, that's just kind of the point of it. Okay, let's change and see what the hot item is. Hot issue. But yeah, no, the reason I was saying it is that it's a very common chant to go like bra, 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 which happened in one of the League of Legends scenes. I can't remember which one. Bamboo Drum Terrarium. So much so that one of the dubs for, I think it was in France or whatever, for one of the characters called Poppy in the game, one of her voice lines goes pa 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 Poppy, because I think it was like one of the events that happened in France where that happened the entire time or something, when the cast sang along with it. I don't remember. It's all a bit vague. Terrarium. That's a bit of a nuisance to make. Actually, it's not really. We just need to grab the weeds. So do that ever so quickly, swiftly. Kieran Knightley, I don't know. There's a song which mentions Kieran Knightley by name, except I didn't know who Kieran Knightley was, but I knew the song. I thought I'd just like bring it up randomly, you know. Really, it has no bearing to do with like spawn chanting conversation topic I was going on about, but still, it just randomly came to mind. For some reason, I didn't sell the iron. For no apparent reason, but you know, the fact we kept it around actually made it quite useful. So yeah, what have I been up to today? Actually, I've just been playing some Binding of Isaac and watching videos. I was meant to do some drawing, I just couldn't be bothered. I'll do some drawing afterwards, probably this. Spend some time doodling. Doodling as a doodling bee. Wombling free. What other missions do we have? We have to change our clothes. We had to customise our tools, I remember that. I'm trying to remember what other sports chants are. It's definitely not my sort of forte. I know there's one which like Scotland tends to sing, is like "We hate England more than you" or something, which I find quite funny, amusing. I mean, you know, you might say, why do you find that amusing as someone who's from England? Well, you know, yeah, I can kind of see where they're coming from a historical perspective. England didn't do that many great things for them, so and there's a certain sense of not sure, rivalries. Well, I guess it kind of is a rivalry. Along there, it's sort of like a hatred between them, but you know, I suppose you got to keep in mind these hatred between countries, not necessarily at an individual person so much, or at least I don't believe so. even though you might agree so, it's like, I don't have much reason to hate, for example, like England and France are meant to hate each other a lot. I don't really have much reason to hate a French person. I don't really have much reason to hate the government either, but a lot of hatred towards countries more to do with the government that represents them, I suppose. What am I doing? I was meant to customise. But I guess while we're here, we might as well give out these gifts. So I guess that sort of level of detachment is not like, I didn't think to myself, oh, I'm represented by my government. I guess it's more like we have a government, and that's it, full stop. Do I agree with them all the time? No, not really. But I guess that's not really a surprise, considering all the situations we're in. But yeah, we're not here to talk about political nonsense here in Animal Crossing. Why? Because I am probably not the best person to talk about it. Where on earth did you go, Biscuit? There you are. I saw how the villagers teleport when they're off screen. Like, surely you're off screen for about 10 seconds. How do you, like, run all the way down here? Whoa. You hear that? There's like some dreading construction going on. Like a couple miles away or something, I don't know. It's very faintly through the window. Perhaps if I opened it you could hear it, but I don't think I'd subject you to that. Okay, sell item. Oh, chop wood, that's why it went down there. Complete DIY projects. And customise, that's why I shook the coconut trees. I see. My subconscious brain sometimes works and far faster than my actual brain does. So if I ever stop to question it, then I'm just like, what am I doing? How did I get here? The end. I'm trying to think, what other chants are there? Definitely a whole lot of them. Oh, it also reminds me of that when we were walking back to the station. Good old train station. After watching... I was going to call it a Now You See Me, that's not the right movie. A Quiet Place 2. Someone's just like laying on the horn as they're driving past, and you know, you kind of ignore them because it's like, I don't want anything to do with the people who are just honking at us or whatever. And then just some guy leans out the window as he passes us, and I was like, oh, here we go. And then he actually just went, it's coming home, with a lot more passion, of course, than I put in right then. And I don't think I can muster up quite the amount of energy that he supplied into it. That's sort of like only energy someone with that much nationalistic and football pride could have, of which I do not have, to that extent, I suppose. Or I'm not gonna say at all. Like, there's always the bias, but still, it's much more mild than he did. But it was just amusing, just how many the fact that it happened twice in such a short succession. But you know, a lot of people probably have been drinking, so it's not too surprising. There's a decent amount of pubs and some sort of bar clubs in that area. Bar clubs, some sort of bars / clubs in that area. So it's not all too surprising. It was quite late, you know, if you're going to be drinking. Was it on Friday? It was on Friday anyway, so, you know, no better time. There's no better time than the present. I've got to make the coconuts. I need another coconut. Now I think about it. But yeah. Guess we won't have to wait too much longer before we truly see exactly how well England can do. I don't know if we've been playing well throughout this Euro Cup or anything. I've very much not been keeping up with it, apart from, you know, hearing word of mouth from my family and friends, exactly what's been going on, because I, you know, jump back 4 days or whatever, whenever the semi-final was. It wasn't 4 days ago, that seems far too recent. I don't remember. Whenever it was, you can go back and watch it again if you really needed a refresh on my football opinions. Which are not negative, mind you. They're not negative. They're just indifferent. Which it really should be the default, I think, for most things. If I don't participate in a hobby or an interest or that sort of thing, of course my opinion on it is going to be rather neutral. Like, I have no reason to hate it unless it's something which I suppose actively hurtful or anything like that. Then maybe I have a bit more reason. But, you know, it's not like football's really hurting anyone. It's a sort of traditional maybe sport that people love to play. Why would I hate on it? People have fun playing it, just like, you know, let them be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be. Ooh. Sorry. Every time I hear Let It Be, I always want to sing it. And it's not because I used to listen to the Beatles rendition or Let It Be or whatever. I mean, technically, yes, it's because of his old, like, Transformize video or whatever. You know, it's like a Transformize meme post video, where it has part of it as well, where it like parodies the Power First video. That old Power First meme. Oh, I wish I could remember what it's called. It's called like Shaman for Noobs or something? I don't know. Maybe Transformers is a conversation topic for a slightly different day. And that's how I get Ali to watch a video. He'll see the title and see it be called Transformers, and he'll be like, what? That? He's not Romanian, I don't know why I gave him, or German, sorry. German? Yeah, I don't know why I gave him that accent. But still. I don't know, it's not really much I know about football chants. It's very much a sort of like a lad culture sort of thing, isn't it? Which I'm obviously not a part of, if you can tell by not only my accent, but my mannerisms tend to not really align with that sort of thing. Do I have anything against lads? Nah, not really, as long as you're... And again, it's a golden rule, as long as you're not hurting anyone or being incredibly rude or something or whatever. I don't really have a problem with you. Have no reason to... Ah, I forgot to craft the coconut juices. Ah, there should be a crafting table inside the Nook shop. I guess I kind of, you know, from a business perspective, doesn't really make much sense because people just craft their furniture items there instead of actually, you know, buying them from a store, which is what they wanted. But maybe, just saying, Timmy and Tommy, that after a whole year on this island and the amount of money you've supplied towards you, you could think about expanding your business, eh? A bigger shop? Remember Nookingtons? I sure do. Rest in peace, Nookingtons. Nook Way, Nook and Go. Now we've only got Nook's Cranny. Thrice. Thrice? Twice. I was going to say, that didn't seem right in my head. Don't need a deer scare anymore. Are we ever going to make that graveyard thing? Maybe, maybe not. What's it to you, huh? I don't know why you are like accosting me suddenly, but you know, it's like roleplay, you know, you got to go a bit of a yes and or a no but. You got to keep the conversation flowing, you know, you got to give a lead and you got to just jump straight on board with it as soon as someone gives you a little thread to dangle. What? Dangles a piece of thread, I suppose, in front of you for you to play around with, is what I meant to say, but didn't really come across my phrasing, I suppose. What football chants do I know? All I can think about is like the schoolyard chants, which aren't really what they do in football. Maybe they are what they do in football, you know. You gotta mimic the actions from somewhere. Very, very common one in our school was, I'm talking about secondary school, of course, which is like high school, middle school equivalent. Anytime something happens, like for example, someone drops a tray in the canteen or cafeteria, as you would call it, and thus, you know, obviously being a terrible situation, all the empathy of all the high school students of the world, what do they yell out in response? They go, way. I wonder how you describe way. It's sort of just like a mocking thing that people say to make fun of. Do we have a pond skater? I'm not sure if we have a pond skater or a drone beetle, so let's go up and check, I suppose. Salvis. Keep those two. Let's go away. There's also a thing, I don't know if it's still a thing anymore. I can't remember if it's secondary school or primary school, but whenever someone does something bad, they go, loser, loser, loser. Which I'm sorry if that spikes like any sort of anxiety in your mind or something, because it kind of makes it seem like I'm directing at you. I'm not, mind you. I'm very much not. I do not think you're a loser. I think you're a cool person. Why? Because you're watching this video. Whoa. It was both a compliment and shameless plug at the same time. I don't know. It's not really a plug if it's my own video, I guess. It's like we pat each other on the back with our own backs. What does that mean? I don't know. What am I saying? I don't know. Even I don't know what I'm saying half the time, or all of the time, or ever, perhaps. So I was seeing what Discord message I'm getting is nothing important. Get out of here, Discord. Stop distracting me. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really recorded any other videos for a while. You know, I was taking July as a bit of a time off, seeing as I recorded like a month in ahead, and I was like, you know what? Let's just like pump the brakes a little bit on the recording thing. You don't have to record an hour and a half of videos every single day, which by the way is not that much because this is just like my playtime, I suppose. On the weekend, I guess I'm not really doing much else, so you know, it's always playtime. Playtime's over. Let's. Wow. Okay. I guess we just got more missions to do. I think we can catch 5 fish and possibly a sucker fish in time. Oh yes, let's see. Do we have a pond skater and a drone beetle? Pond skater and drone beetle. It doesn't look like we have either. So, you know, it's a good thing that we kept them. So now we can get them. Whoa, crazy. What have a chance? I remember, this is such a specific one, in primary school, we used to do a thing, like, for the year sixes, like, before they graduated, we'd have a game of year sixes versus the teachers of rounders, which is kind of like, it's kind of like baseball, basically, except for, instead of a bat being two-handed, you have it a one-handed bat. The board is also quite soft as well. I guess it's more like a primary school version of baseball, and instead of having, like, the bases aren't, instead of being like plates on the ground, they're like sticks that go upwards. And apart from that, I think it's basically the same. I mean, there's not really, it doesn't have all the rules that baseball has, you know. The only way you can get out is being caught out, tagged out on the base. I don't know if you can be tagged to get out, maybe. Or being outrun, as if, which very rarely happens, as more of a error of a fielding team, is if a person behind you who's one of the runners overtakes you or whatever. Which has happened before, a couple of times. In primary school, of course, you know, kids not paying attention to that sort of thing. But of course, you know, the primary school teachers and the good spirits they are, that sort of thing. They play along with the sort of rivalry going on. But of course, they are like adults in their 30s and 40s, and some of them probably, apart from the PE teachers, I suppose, which I don't even know if our primary school had PE teachers now I think about it. I've been a while, I mean, these like dads and mums or whatever. Like just sort of playing with their kids, and sometimes, you know, the athleticism faults a little bit, and sometimes when, you know, when we're running to the bases, someone falls over, and, you know, the chants start up immediately. He fell over, or she fell over, she fell over. I guess now, whatever pronoun they might use, they fell over. Should they so require, you know, X fell over, and, you know, the ringing chants of the teachers, and they took it well, to be honest. For a load of basically like an entire school of kids mocking them for falling over in a game that they probably play like once a year only for these sort of purposes, and aren't expected to be necessarily the tippy top of physical shape, and, you know, but also, you know, being kinder to the kids by not absolutely just like trying to demolish them in every opportunity. But, you know, I guess they probably wouldn't be primary school teachers if they didn't have a patience to deal with a load of kids jokingly doing these sport chants at them. Yeah, what you might ask, what happened when it came to your turn to do year 6 as a teacher's game? I honestly cannot remember. I'm going to assume we won because we were great and amazing. But I honestly have no clue. Let's do orange, you know? Signature colours of Dear Darling, pink and orange. Which is strange because they're not even my favourite colours. My favourite colours are much more like teal, greeny, blue sort of colours. Like my favourite colour is ivy green. You might ask, so why did you use pink and orange for your colour representation on the channel? Well, dear viewer, I used pink because this stemmed from a conversation I had ages ago. It was like, what colours would you associate with people in my friend group? And the colours that associated with me tended to be like a light blue or a light pink. And no one else had pink. You know, a lot of other people had blue in my mind, and that's kind of the colours I associate people with now. So I associate myself with pink, despite it not really being my favourite colour, or particularly representative of things I wear. Do I have any pink clothes? I have a pink cardigan, I guess. That's about it. Not really much more than that. And then I wanted to choose a secondary colour, which went well with it, and orange goes well, because I wanted that pink and white sort of balance. I could have done pink, white and blue, I suppose, like trans colour flags, but I like the pink and orange, like, sunset feel. Which I guess now I think about it ended up being a lesbian flag, so maybe I should have gone with a trans flag instead of being bi and all that, but whatever. I'm going to round this episode off here because I have no idea what I'm talking about anymore. Sport chants, yeah, I know. So, if you've been watching, thank you. I'm not going to do that, but it's dumb. If you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Join me Dear Darling Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. I hope we can see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye, 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 bye. It goes a bit lower than my voice can go. Okay, I don't know. Bye-bye for now.